I have been reading Nisargadatta Maharaj for the last 3 months now. I'm back to reading it all the way from page 1 again. And I do watch videos of people talking to different gurus, asking them several questions. And until you are ready to make that jump of knowledge, until the mind and the body is prepared to receive this special information, which in fact has been given by every great master, whether it's Jesus or it's Muhammad or it's Jehovah. I don't know who we talk about. Everybody has talked about residing in me, understanding me. Just believe in the I, right? The problem is, all of us have a false idea of what that I is. So when you're reading a quote and saying that when you are alone, then you can give love. It's not that you have to lock yourself up in the last bedroom with nobody there and suddenly love will start growing in you, and then you'll be able to share this love. Understand that when the masters refer to the I, they are not talking about your body. They are not talking about your thoughts. They are not talking about your breath. They are not talking about your values. They are not talking about your emotions. And then you're going to say, okay, then what are they talking about? What is this that they're talking about? I don't get it. And that's okay. That's okay. Because most of us in this present lifetime are only going to understand that I, that source from which we all emerge, as a mental concept. Because this I, can never see itself, can it? So if we assume that the I is the subject, anything else in this world is an object. Anything is an object. So here we are trying to learn the subject, the I that knows that you love or that you don't love, that you're lonely or you're sad, that you're anxious or you're married or you're engaged or you're remarried or you're divorced. This is the subject. How are you going to know a subject when your mind, by its very nature, only knows objects? That's why they say, no, God is bigger than you'll ever understand. Because we are trying to understand God as an object, as a person, as a human being, as a power in a very specific presence in a certain place, right? And where he lives his paradise and all, they're all green trees and all this, stuff that we make up about where God lives and what he does. It's going to come to you as you keep approaching the I. Just keep telling yourself, I am that source, I am that source, I am that. At one point, somewhere, sometime, if you really want to know, if you're really seeking, that's what the sages say, like that it appears to you. It just comes in one flash, that understanding that aham satyam jagat mithyam, that the whole world, everything that we're doing, none of it matters. It's all an illusion. Just as we would have a vivid dream You have a really vivid dream, and you're in Paris and you're walking around and you're meeting all these people and you're in celebrity houses and you're wearing clothes and oh my God, there's this fantastic clothes, and somebody slaps you and you wake up, right? And then you say, oh, that was a dream. Similarly, one of these days, you're going to find out, as Radha always says, that you're just a germ in the nostril of a giant, right? Something like that. You're going to wake up, you think that you're doing this fantastic life and, oh, I'm doing this, I'm selling that, I've been doing this for so many years, I'm in banking, I'm in real estate, I'm a teacher, I'm a writer. We have all these things. You're going to all wake up one day and find you're nothing. You're going to find there's a universe bigger than you inside, and you're inside that universe, which is nested inside another universe. There was a beautiful video I saw of a little boy, and he was looking at this, he was looking at ants, and the interviewer said, why are you looking at these ants? So then he replied, saying that these ants are so busy working, they think that this is the whole universe, but they don't know that we are all here and we are a bigger universe. And there may be a bigger universe beyond this. We try to make as much sense of this world through what we have, and that's the mind. And that's where the problem comes. We have an image, a memory, a very distant memory of our source, and that's for peace, and that's for joy, and that's for happiness. And that's what we seek. Ultimately, it is not fame, it is not success, it is the happiness that comes out of it is what you're seeking. Now the Dalai Lama in my book, he has written that. He says, everybody wants to be happy, but they just don't know how. Everybody wants. Why? Why is this longing to be happy, to find peace? We have some sort of a memory of this feeling of complete bliss, of this feeling of complete calm, where nothing more can complete anything. It's just perfect as it is. And that very same feeling is accessible to you right now. That is the nature of the source. That is what you long to be. That is the feeling of ultimate peace. Why is it that you want to say that I don't want the problems of this world, I just want to be peaceful? But as long as your identity is in the success of your actions, in the results of what you're putting in, you are going as far away from the source as possible. You have to turn around. Instead of going into the world, you have to retreat and look at the light that's shining inside you. You're going in the wrong direction, looking for things. The treasure is not there. It's not in getting married, it's not in having children, it's not in graduations, it's not in events, it's not in money, it's not in anything. The nature of the source is everything. It is all of that. It is all of what is happening in this universe. And as long as you keep coming back, that's why I keep asking you to say happiness is my birthright. What happens when you say that? You break a chain of anxious thoughts. Okay, I'm going to be traveling next week. I've got some major packing to do. Okay, and all the time I'm thinking about all the major packing that I have to do, which I possibly could finish in 1 hour. Right? But my thoughts are all the time. Oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that. And that's where you go away from. As soon as you stop that, and sometimes it requires someone to tell you, like Raji will always yell at me and say, Stop it now. You need that to be reminded. And when he gets into a state, I will say it. You need someone to remind you that, stop. Happiness is your birthright. The minute you break those anxious chains, there is a glimpse of the source. You approach it in some sort of way. And people want that experience so much, that experience between lives. You always do, I've mentioned this before to you, but do you ever wonder why people do things like racing or bungee jumping or climbing a mountain on a single rope, hanging from two rocks, right? The whole idea is that when they literally approach the end, they get dissolved in it. And when they dissolve themselves totally into that fear, everything disappears. And for 1 minute, there is this pure feeling of being. And then they're back to life. So when you dissolve in something totally, it is that feeling of being completely alive. You ask anyone who's had a near-death experience, it's life-changing for them. It's life-changing when they've experienced that dissolving of the mind into nothing. And that's why you see people do it. They when you come close to death, and then you pull back. Your fear becomes intense, and there's a moment where the mind just collapses, falls apart. You see many people's stories, like Eckhart Tolle always talks about, there was a time that the depression got to such a point that the whole thing was so painful, that the pain just collapsed inward. And for a long period of time, he was in this no-mind state. Life itself gave it to him. Yes, our tools are the mind, and it's through our mind that we're going to access this world. So when we think of happiness, we try to find that happiness in objects, in people, in events, right? And we give those objects the power to make us happy or to make us sad. But tell me, honestly, does an object actually send any vibes to you that are happiness vibes? If so, I would package it and sell it. If there is any item that you can find, any person you can find, anything you can find that actually gives happiness, tell me about it. I will package it, put a nice bow on it, and sell it for $1 million. There is nothing. You see, it's just a feeling inside you. It's a feeling inside you. And while you, the individual, is completely alone in this world, you also live in company. That is something to understand. That is something to understand. Marianne, can you please mute? Okay. When you realize that you are not your body and not your mind, that you are something supremely greater than all of this, that's the moment, that's that space that's created between you and someone else, where you are able to appreciate without trying to possess that thing. Make spaces, but understand that you're alone. That line that Karunya read, you might be in love, you might think that you're in love, but if you try to own and control and possess it, that's when it all festers into something else. The love is not coming from that person, it is a feeling inside you that's rising because you have this admiration for qualities that you would love to have. There are qualities in other person. When those qualities and yours kind of gel and resonate, you say, oh, I'm in love. I love this person. I adore this person. But what is that feeling? It is a feeling inside you. And you have access to that feeling with or without that object. Because now if you tie it to that person or to that object, that person's there, I'm happy. Person's not there, I'm unhappy. Person's there, I'm happy. What are you doing to yourself? What are you doing to yourself? Why are you playing these games? 1 minute happy, 1 minute sad. Just steady, knowing that the love you seek, the happiness you seek, the peace you seek is your essential nature. This is the nature of the source. The source can be anything. It is good, it is evil, it is bad, it is dark, it is light, it is every quality and every shape that it manifests in any way or form. And you understand it from your own day. You, the same person, can be very sweet and very loving one day and crotchety and miserable and yelling the next. Isn't it? Isn't that the manifestation of the same thing? Get away from the feeling that this person, this body I'm everything. Because this body is going to fade. And it's going to go. All that money that you collected all your life, it's going to be left behind. Somebody else is going to take it. That house you spent so much money building, God knows, is going to crumble to dust. All those people that you thought, decided whether you're going to be happy or not, they're going to die too. It's all temporary. All that matters is in this moment, you can know your source. You can know your source. Stop before you tell me that I am anxious, I am happy, I am sad. Who is happy? Who is anxious? What are you talking about? The body is tired. The body takes rest. All the time you have to keep reminding yourself, I'm not this body. I'm not this emotions. It is all temporary. Everything comes, everything goes. It's like a river flowing. And your entire relationship with others is like a river flowing. You're 2 drops of water going towards the ocean. Sometimes you all will go together. One person will go ahead, another person will drop off. You all will take different tributaries. Everybody's finding their way into the ocean. You might be part of a mighty river, but you're just a drop of water. Just 1 drop of water. But you matter. Because can you imagine if every drop of water was not there? Where would the river be? What would create that river? Right? Everything matters. The source is closer to you than you think. It's not in a temple, it's not in a god, it's not in a scripture. The Buddhists, they have a day in the year where they take the scripture and they go with the book and they go, with the book, apparently. And it's supposed to like you've read the whole book. Because it's not in that. It's not even in the meditation. It's in this moment. It's in this moment. And we're not all going to get what I'm saying. And I'm going to keep saying it again and again. I'll say it again and again and again and again. And you'll keep hearing it again and again and again. And you'll do your own inquiry. You'll read your own, you'll watch the videos. You'll listen to the knowledge again and again. And one day, just like that, before you know it, you'll be in the moment and there will be that instant feeling of I'm free. I'm free, I'm floating, I'm free. Like we get in meditation. I'm not making promises, okay? That means I don't have a pathway for you to get there. This is your journey. This is your inquiry. I'm just making suggestions here. Right? I'm not even saying that I have reached. I don't know. We're all in a process. A lot of it is understood intellectually. A lot of it is experiential. But as long as we're looking for experiences and intellectual understanding, it's not there. It's not there. We do many things, in order to feel that source. Oh, you do meditation, you'll get it. You chant for 50 hours, you'll get it. You stand on one leg, you'll get it. You do this, you'll get it. It's not anywhere. You are looking outside, always in an experience, in a feeling, in a thought. You're looking for some particular thing that you want, Just turn around, Turn around. It's right there. It is there in this moment. It's nothing spectacular. Enlightenment is not some light going off in someone's head. It is there moment to moment to moment. Sometimes we access it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we need some help. A little meditation here, a little video there, your mother calling you, or you're calling a friend, or a quick reminder. And for a second, there's that connection. I hope I've confused you enough. Om Namah Shivaya.